Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Shahila binti Rosli from KIM 1105T.
Hi, my name is Nur Shamira binti Zakaria.
My name is Wan Nur Amira Nadia binti Wan Muhammad Nazri.
My name is Ila Sharafina binti Mu'ta.
Okay, now we will present our group assignment that we choose is the National Library and National Library of Malaysia. Okay, next. For the chapter 1, the introduction of the National Library of Malaysia. The National Library of Malaysia was established under the National Library Act 1972 in 1966. It was located at 232 Jalan Tun Razak, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The total of the materials is 4.78 million. It was under the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture. It had 512 rural libraries built throughout the Malaysia and the Perlis State Public Library Corporation Pipine Perlis. Okay, now we move to the background of the NLM or National Library of Malaysia. Okay, firstly, National Library of Malaysia was as a unit the National Archive, which functioned in the Book Preservation Act 1966, where the place of the operation at the Federal Building of Petaling Jaya. But in 1970, it moved to the old government's building, Jalan Bening, Kuala Lumpur. Then the gazetting of the National Library Act 1972 Act 80 in 1972, which transferred the National Library of Malaysia to the UMBC building, Jalan Sulaiman, Kuala Lumpur. Wisma Terkudas or Satjad Jalan Raja Laut, Kuala Lumpur was the place of the National Library of Malaysia in 1975, and in 1976 began the establishment of the National Library of Malaysia as a federal department spread from the Archive Department. After a year, the National Library of Malaysia moved to the other buildings, namely the Maba Building, Jalan Debizin, Kuala Lumpur. And the National Library of Malaysia was successfully recognized as one of the federal government department in 1977. In addition, in 1982, 1985, and 1987, the National Library of Malaysia moved to 3 different locations. First at the Wisma SYS at Jalan Raja Laut, Jalan Segambut, Kompleks Bukit Naga at Exchange Square, Jalan Semantan, Damansara High. And all of these locations are within Kuala Lumpur. The last location, which is the now location of the National Library of Malaysia, was started in 1992. It was at the at 4 different locations. First at Anjom Bestari Building 232 Jalan Tun Razak. Second, Menara PNM 232 Jalan Tun Razak. And the third is Menara Wisma Sejarah. Third and fourth floor Jalan Tun Razak. And Wisma Abel Mage Jalan Chan Soling of Jalan Sungai Besi, Kuala Lumpur. Next, we move to the planning process. Okay, here is the vision and mission of the National Library of Malaysia. First is the vision of National Library of Malaysia is drivers of world-class national library and information services. And the mission is empowering library services and quality information, as well as preserving the country's intellectual treasures to form a knowledgeable society. Okay, next is the objective of the National Library. There are three, which is first, provide for the use of the present and future generations of a collection of library resources at the national level. Second is to facilitate the nationwide use of library resources available locally and abroad. The last one or third is establish leadership in matters related to the library. Okay, here is the 5 year plan of the National Library of Malaysia, it was divided into 6 strategy core. First is strengthening of the governments and the empowerment of the organization image. Second is strengthening of library research and development. Third is strengthening of the preservation of treasures. Fourth is expansion of access to information resources through the delivery of library service. Fifth is the empowerment of digital libraries. And the last one is driving force of reading culture along with the promotion of Jawi culture. Here is the organization chart of National Library of Malaysia. And the last one for the chapter 1 is the department structure, which is divided into 3 parts, which is first management, second development, and the third is services. Under the management, there are 5 units. First is integrity unit, second management and human resources service, third is corporate service, fourth is the human capital development division, and the last is the information technology division. Under the development department, there are 2 unit, which is first knowledge and information infrastructure unit, and the second is collection and development unit. Okay, for the services under it, there are the 3 division or unit. First is reference and information services, second is branch and community libraries, and the last is the national digital libraries.
Okay, for chapter 2, Personnel Management. This is the organization chart for National Library of Malaysia. Next is position description. So the first position is head director. In order to keep library management running smoothly and ensure that efficiency remains high, the head director has several duties that are directly related. In order to expand libraries, directors also report to board members and develop management strategies. They have the sole responsibility for decision making and they make or accept most top level decisions. Directors also handle library mergers, restructuring, or downsizing. They meet and network the investor, providing reports of financial investment and stock trading. Preparing or approving budgets and enforcing the library policies are also a part of their duties. Next is the Management and Human Resource Services Division. The basic and critical part of an organization is the human resource. Organization success depends solely on human resources, especially when they are service-oriented and interact with other people as their customers. Only a progressive and growth-oriented organization can be developed by people who are dynamic. As personnel, effective individuals contribute to the organization's effectiveness. Okay, the third position description is Information Technology Manager. An Information Technology Manager manage a company's computing needs. They organize the activity of all the organization's computer system and related application operate properly and effectively. They are responsible for recruiting and educating new workers, handling the budget for IT, coordinating day-to-day tasks, and troubleshooting information systems. They assess variables that put the IT system at risk and ensure that the new developments are up to date with equipment and procedures. Okay, the last position is Information Literacy Management Division. The Information Literacy Manager will design and provide our learning, teaching, and study group with high quality services. They will be responsible for planning and implementing seminars, offering online and one-to-one assistance within specific schools, and supporting colleagues by maintaining collections and reading lists on a daily basis.
Next, I'm going to explain about the performance appraisal in National Library of Malaysia. So, the objective of performance appraisal in National Library of Malaysia is to assess the performance of public service officers in a more methodically and objective way to enable the appraisal performed by the head of service to be met according to the suitability of the work field, to make possible for Human Resource Management Department to facilitate the provisions of incentive training, salary transfer, and career advancement for officers, to appreciate the contribution that has been given by officers while performing their duties with excellence, to encourage all supervisory officers at various levels to be involved in the performance appraisal process, to take action against officers for the purpose of improving their performance, and the last one is to penalize low-performing employees according to the exit policy. Next is about appraisal process. The appraisal process in NLM begins with the process of department's annual work planning. Head of department and senior department officer will determine the strategies, program, project, and annual activities of the department, as well as allocate information, financial resources, membership, and equipment in December to January. Next, the appraisal will continue with work plan determination of division or unit. The head of division or unit will allocate jobs and responsibilities for the program, project, and activity, as well as defining work plans for their unit in December to January. After that, it will continue with the process of determinations of assessing officers' work targets in January. In this process, first appraisal officer and the second appraisal officer will determine the project, activity, and date of completion. The next process is execution of work and tracking. At this stage, the assess officer begins to implement the program, project, and activity in between of January to June. Furthermore, the appraisal will go to the process of mid-year review, where basically it will be done in between of June to July. First appraisal officer and assess officer, they will review on actual work achievement by comparing with set works target. Next, the assess officer will go through the same task as in the fourth process. This process was named as work and tracking, which will be done in July to December. After that, the process will continue with the preparations of performance appraisal report. This process was specifically assigned for first appraisal officer, second appraisal officer, secretariat, and assess officer in between of first week of January until the second week of February. Generally, the tasks begin with the distributions, evaluations, and end with a review of assessment forms. The second last process is a process of Human Resource Development Panel involving a Human Resource Panel and Secretariat. Basically, this process enables Human Resource Panel to make judgment and adjustment on the appraisal reports that have been collected. In this process, the result of the appraisal reports also will be announced by the Secretariat on the second week of April. The last task involved in the appraisal process is performance information storage, which will be performed in the third or fourth week of April. In this process, the Secretariat will send the performance appraisal reports to the storage authority to store the reports. Next is about appraisal form or system in NLM. So basically, NLM will assess their staff performance by using annual performance appraisal report, LNPT form. So basically, this form is divided into three dimensions, which is core dimensions, functional dimensions, and contribution dimension. So core dimensions is an assessment on leadership and personality aspects by using multi-rated assessment, which will be assessed by supervisors, colleges, and supervised officers. For the functional dimension, it is an assessment on work outputs, knowledge, and expertise aspect by using key performance indicator and annual work target. For the contribution dimension, it is an assessment on officers' contributions of creative or innovative ideas and contributions outside official duties. For the contributions of creative or innovative ideas, assess officers list their two highest contributions of creative or innovative ideas, while contributions outside of official duties is assess officers' contributions in volunteer activities outside of their public duties.
Okay, now we move to the chapter 4, which is the financial management. Okay, first is the budgeting techniques of the National Library Malaysia use, which is the operating budgets or revenue budgets. The budget was a year-to-year annual budget required and prepared by them. And the National Library of Malaysia was under the federal government department, and they will receive from the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture because it is under the auspices of the ministry. The Secretary General of the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture will provide a chart of actual expenditure within the 3 years and allocation for the following year for the management and development of agency under the ministry. And the National Library of Malaysia will provide the working papers and send it to the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture to get it verified. And after the working papers was verified, the Ministry of Tourism and Arts and Culture will send them the budget for the annual budget. Okay, here is the sources of funding. Okay, there are two types of sources of funding for the National Library of Malaysia, which is the first is the local support. Okay, for the local support, there are four sources of fund they get, which is first fines, second rent usage fees and rental rates through their facility that they have, and the third is carer room service fees, and the fourth is audio blindness, or they call it BPD membership applicants. Okay, each of these resources has its own values imposed according to its type, such as, for example, for fines, for loss of security of library membership guide, for children who do not have to pay RM3 and must be reported to the library. Next, a fine of RM0.5 will be imposed on members who return books late, and if the borrowed book is lost or there is severe damage to it, the member must pay the price of the book. And then the National Library of Malaysia has 8 facilities that are rented out to the public, and the payment rate has been set for each of these facilities. For example, the auditorium located on the second floor, Anjong Bestari, which can accommodate 367 people, and the rate available is for 1 hour RM250, and for the daily rental is RM1600, along with the equipment provided such as sofa set, chairs, armchairs, coffee table, air conditioning, lamp, broadcast system, stage background, rostrum, VIP waiting room, video projector, and 100-inch flat screen. For the use of carer room service, which is a special room that allows users to make reference or assignment individually, will be charged RM2 every 4 hours and RM4 per day. And the last is the annual fee charged for the membership of the Audio Visual Materials BPD requires applicants aged 16 and above to fill in the membership form in advance where available in the BPD room. An annual fee of RM25 per year will be charged to the applicants, and membership must be renewed annually. Okay, second is the federal funds, which receive an allocation operating expense through the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, which is we have been informed that National Library of Malaysia receives allocation for operating expenses through the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, which is approved in the government budget every year. And the federal fund is for the development of every infrastructure role activity have the National Library of Malaysia was held or made. Okay, that's all for the chapter 4.
Chapter 5, Promotional Planning. From our research, we found that National Library of Malaysia promotional tool is public relations. Public relations refer to a variety of activities conducted by the organization to promote and protect the company image, products, and policies in the eye of public. It is used in the public's mind to distribute and convey all the necessary information to create a strong reputation. Instead of questionable activities, a successful and strong public relations department uses constructive programs for this purpose and still stresses the removal of negative publicity. Type of public relations used by the NLM is social media. NLM use social media platform as their public relations. National Library of Malaysia has website as their promotional tools under public relations. This website used to promote information and news about the library to users. They also promoted their activities on the website to persuade visitors to join. Another example is they create image or public relations by using Facebook platforms. Many useful information are posted by the admin of National Library Malaysia Facebook page. By using their Facebook, NLM promoted their program. For example, there is a program named Cari Silang Kata Jawi competition announced and runs on their Facebook page also. Other than social media, NLM implemented an event as their public relations. The name of the event is Majlis Anugerah Buku PNM 2020. This program was a collaboration between Kementerian Pelancongan, Seni dan Budaya Malaysia with National Library of Malaysia. Okay. Next is the activities that are done by the National Library of Malaysia in order to promote their library. The first one is the Pameran Maya Manuskrip Melayu. These programs fall under exhibitions and display. So basically, the National Library of Malaysia use exhibitions as the activities to promote their library. This exhibition runs virtually and can be accessed through their website. This exhibition played in Malay language, which is our national language, and can be watched by all Malaysians. This activity is great because it helps the viewers to get to know about the history of Melayu. This kind of activity are very suitable for our country because we are now facing a pandemic, which is increase the number of the COVID-19 patients. So we are required to just stay at home, and this is the chance of us to still get involved in National Library program by visiting their website. Okay, this is another example of exhibition done by National Library of Malaysia, which is Pameran Anugerah Buku PNM. This exhibition is just the same as the because it is also a virtual exhibition. So as long as we have the internet connection, so we can still get access to it and can view these exhibitions, and we can get many advantages from it. Also, the advantages is that we can pause the exhibitions and we can take notes or jot down any important notes from that we get from the exhibitions. So, thank you.
Chapter 6 is about department and service. National Library Malaysia have three main departments: Management Department, Develop Department, and Service Department. First, Management Department is responsible for managing and to answer the smooth running of management and operation activity. It's divided into the head of integrity unit, management service, and human resources, human capital development division, corporate service, and information technology service. And next is about policy for customer. To providing quality library service is responsible for praising the heritage Malaysian knowledge resources to make customer satisfaction through the implementation of a quality management system. First, policy for customer dressed neatly and in accordance with the library environment and not eye-catching. Second, we have quality and orderly. Third is allow security check to be carried out by security officer when entering or exiting the library. And next is maintain harmony between user and library staff. 5. Place the used reading material on the trolley provided for another user referring facilities. And 6. Users are prohibited from bringing wearable, raincoat, umbrella, helmet, favorite drink, and food sub-objects like scissors and knives. And next is users are prohibited from displaying, distributing, pasting or pasting any notice outside the library. Next is organization check. We have this like this, and then next proof or technique or best practice of management department. A total of 416 30 National Library Malaysian staff attended course, workshop, seminar and conference throughout the years 2017. 31 course, seminar, workshop and lecture are conducted in 2017, which comprise 15 generate course and 60 function course related to libraries and libraries. 31 students for institution of higher learning, practical training and attest in National Library Malaysia. Next, activities are designed to help library achieve goals. First, activity is the Keep Reading 6 program. The goal of this program is to nurture and educate from an early age to enjoy reading books. So, through the implementation of Reading 6 program, total of 7,138 kits was given to the family with child that is from 3 years. Next, the project of this program is implemented in several states in Penang, Perak, Selangor, Negeri Sembilan, Melaka, Terengganu, and Pahang. This program is also one of the main programs of the National Library of Malaysia under the National Reading Movement, DMK, is the slogan Malaysia Membaca, which aims to make Malaysia a reading country and create a world-class knowledge society. Next is Development Department. This division is divided into knowledge and information instructor and collection development. The development unit serves to plan, implement, and regulate library development projects at the state and federal level, as well as coordinate development projects in the form of cooperation between agency and corporate bodies. And for the policy of customer, we have six. First, users are prohibited from tearing, cutting, chopping, damaging any part of the page of book, magazine, and newspaper, as well as another reading material. Second, the preparation of library material obtained through the submission of library material. Third, the availability of the country intellectual heritage collection. It is always in a safe and perfect condition of the refrain of current and future generation. And next is the latest publisher. The published library material are available on the shelf for customer to refer with 2 weeks. And 5, that 80% of library material suggestion and application by customer are made within 3 working days. And last, that new procurement library material are available on the shelf for use in the following period from the date of expedition. First, not more than 1 per 2 months for purchase material and gift. And next, not exceeding 1 per 2 months for material under submission. Next is organization for development department. We have 2 knowledge and information instruction and collection development. You can see this. Next is the tool or technique. First, to establish cooperative relation with foreign institution and individual. They have worked with foreign embassies to obtain contribution of various library resources that can be used as a collection of National Library of Malaysia. The collection of library local institution track and obtain this of various National Library resources for collection of Malaysia Resources Center above. Next, regulation is given to individual, institution, and agency who contribute library resources based on value of donation received. Next is National Library Malaysia must obtain as much bibliographies of foreign foreigner, countries and references work in all areas of matter through exchange program with material published by the National Library of Malaysia. Next, after that, work with Ministry of Foreign Affairs to hold a program to contribute various resources of selected nationally produced libraries to service other national libraries in the world. Next is activities that are designed for development department. First, we are creating a team of experts and developing online information literacy we use to promote and enhance the culture of the knowledgeable and culture IT community. Next, Holocaust. Next is Holocaust and workshop to find information and information stream online. And next is online radio program on FB, PPM or FBKL WBC. The Malaysian Libraries Association radio program, in conjunction with Kuala Lumpur as the World Book Capital, Malaysian Library Association and 13 hosts from various libraries and organizations and book writers. Various interesting discussion topic, interactive activity and plus are provided. Next is service department. Lastly, the service division mainly focus on the provision of services and facilities such as revisor service, loan service and others. It is also responsible for promoting service and facilities to customers. Its division consists of 3 units, namely Reference and Information Service, Branch and Community Libraries, and National Digital Library. Next, policy for customer health. First, National Library Malaysian reserves the right to suspend membership if violate the NLM rules. Second, after the customer complaint are given acknowledgement of receipt within 3 working days. Next is answer service to publisher or writer to obtain ISBN or ISN or strip code meet within 1 working day. Next, after that, cataloging in publication, CIP application are prepared within 3 working day. Next, answer research referring question are given feedback within 2 working day. Next, provided appropriate training to staff at least 7 days a year within a variance of 10%. Next, answer Malay manuscript are evaluated within 1 per 2 months after the release of the expired. And last, answer that process of documenting the Malay manuscript completed within 6 months after purchase. Next, organization chart have 3 different information service, branch and community library and national digital library. Next, tool or technique for best practice. We have 3 National Library Malaysia sent 283 staff to attend 5 to fly to course conducted by another institution in Malaysia. NLM also sent 14 staff to attend 8 international conference and seminar in order to enhance their competency. Among the conference attended by National Library Malaysia staff are like executive board meeting and consult in Myanmar and others. Next activity, first for reference department. First, we have basic command drawing workshop with Najib Salam, famous comic painter. This workshop will take the participant to learn various digital drawing technique, and the participant will learn about the basic of digital drawing and hone their talents skill. We also have work Kamishibai Day held every year, and MBBY member will hold a technique storytelling season for children. Next, service for library department. In National Library Malaysia provide facilities such as auditory discussion room, screen room, screening room, canteen, surround and parking for convenience of user. And National Library Malaysia provide reference service, loan to the public and service to the publisher. Loan, we have also loan service, and we also have service to publisher. In addition, we have a reading advisor. We have electronic media collection. It provides individual, not printed, is local or foreigner, such as audio cassette, solid, digital videotape, and audio disc. That's all.
Last but not least, I'm going to explain about the current issues in NLM and proceed with the conclusion. So for the current issues, NLM has a lot of innovation services provided for their patrons. First and foremost, it is an online book loans, which is a loan of book through NLM Overdrive portal for 1 week. The second one is virtual programs, which will be conducted on online platforms such as Facebook Live and Zoom. The third one is U-Pustaka, which is a free access to 12,627 and 943 digital materials through various subscribed reference database, and the last one is virtual exhibitions. The virtual exhibitions will be conducted through NLM's website with control buttons and background sound. So in conclusion, the National Library of Malaysia is one of the libraries that has a systematic management system with the support of three main departments, namely management, services, and development. These departments have strengthened the management of the NLM in terms of employee management, financial management, promotion, and so on. So that's all our explanation about the National Library of Malaysia. So thank you for listening to the presentation.